a fantastic man. He really is.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
Hey, welcome. This is the French Workbench podcast on a Tuesday. I'm your host, Dan French, streaming live from Las Vegas. And this is our final show of 2021. Heading into 2022, we have a lot of things to talk about today. First, we're going to talk a lot about what we're going to do next year and what our plans are and what our goals are. We're going to go across the room here and talk to everybody. We're also going to talk to Mr. Rick Raines over here about property management. We're going to talk to Bret about real estate just a little bit and also cryptocurrency. And let's talk a little bit today also about what our projections we see from this year going into next year. Look, there's a lot of data and information we want to bring up. Maybe some things out there you guys might have interest in. And, did you guys know that we were reviewed here recently? You know, we were reviewed. Yeah, JD Power.
JD Power and Associates? Wait. The JD Power.
The JD Power.
And what did they say about us?
Oh, they said we're in the top percent.
Top tier.
1%.
We're the top 1% of 1%
of podcasts here in Las Vegas. Did you know that?
Of course.
Real estate podcast.
It all makes sense.
Yes.
JD Power. Everybody look that up. Next week, I think we're in Forbes.
Yeah, we're in Forbes next week.
And then Rolling Stone cover. Probably end our tour.
It's coming right after that. So I'm holding the crown here today.
Right there is
proof. Right here. So,
I
got this delivered off. Going into next year, we got to hold the crown, man.
Real estate kings right here.
Right.
Real estate lending kings, dude.
So
pressure's on.
The pressure's on. And
1-2 combo.
I got to come over here and talk to my guy here, Rick Raines, man. I mean, he's very innovative with some of the costumes he comes. Rick, explain yourself, buddy.
Hey, man, I'm the Happy New Year. I'm the stork bringing in 2022.
Rick never disappoints.
For the French Workbench.
Hey, that's a little. Go ahead, Brett. Are you excited, man, that this is a new year?
I just needed some attention. So.
Hey, at least you're honest. So what's going on with you, man? Listen, new year, things are happening right now.
Just riding dirty, bro.
Just riding dirty.
Doing the podcast dirty.
Yeah.
Thanks to Corinne over there.
Absolutely. We're going to go. So listen, man, we're going to talk a little bit about what you're going to be, what your plans are for next year, what you guys think about what happened this year, some of the big points to point out.
Next year's plan, I'll just be honest. I could tell you, but I'll have to kill you. So, I mean, if you're willing to go down that route.
Yeah.
No, just the things that I've had kind of going in my mind for this last year, it's time to get going on them and start enacting them and just trying to formulate the game plan by the day so that when January 1st comes, I'm ready to go.
So listen, we got Corinne. I want to bring her. Corinne, what's up? How you doing today?
Good, Dan. How are you?
Wonderful. Man, you listen to that voice. It's just like beautiful, glistening coming off that mic.
Angelic.
Oh, man.
Such a contrast to us. And she knows what the boys like. She comes in with bringing liquor. Dude, she knows how to hang, dude.
So,
Corinne's coming in and she was like, all right, I'm getting this party started, pre-party. She's busting out things.
We're like, we're going to do that kind of party, Corinne. All right. No.
What's going on with you, Corinne?
Hey, you know what? This whole New Year thing, we're in real estate. I start my goals for 2022 or the next year in October, right?
Yeah.
So I got my numbers all set and some personal goals I start to work on. And so,
everybody has that reset. Mm-hmm. And listen, I got a reset. I'm going to talk a little bit about what my goals are. Everybody's got, I want to get multiple streams of income. We talked about that before the show. Somebody has other goals, maybe they want to work out. That's always one of the things, you get people going into workout, month and a month half in, those people are gone, but they always set it up.
They always are, man.
Yeah. So
Thank God.
Right? So we're going to talk a little bit today. I'm going to kind of see what you guys' take as far as what you guys want to do going into 2022. Is there anything specifically that stands out, Rick, that you're looking to maybe accomplish next year?
Well, my number one goal is to finish a book I started, and it's called The Creative Quadrant, and I think that'll be my number one intended result is to finish that book.
Tell us about this, man.
No, I'm going to wait.
So you wrote a book?
What's the subject matter? Is it fiction, nonfiction?
It's
I like horror.
It's about manifestation of your life.
Awesome, man.
How you create your life.
I'm going to say something.
I
So
like that, man.
we always hear like pay it forward. Mm-hmm. We always talk about there's people in life that make you think, right? Now I'm sitting here like, I always meet people that are like, you know what, I'm just going to get what I need from the situation and move on. I think we all are like that. Mm-hmm. I can relate to that. I've been like that myself. But looking at the situation with Rick, I met Rick probably about 5 or 6 months ago. Maybe about 5 months ago, Rick?
Less than that.
Less than that.
How did
Okay.
you meet Rick to have him on the podcast?
So here's what happened is I actually had another property manager come in, and I looked up Rick's information online. They couldn't make it. And Rick said, hey, you know what? I'm going to try this thing out.
Yeah.
I'm going to come on and I'm going to take a look at this thing. And so he came on, and this guy has been a consistent soldier since day one.
And Rick managed to do something right away that a lot of people don't, which is like me.
Right?
Like, I just have a strong personality. So, Rick right away was like, liked me.
Well, you know what? Part of that, to be honest with you, is the manifestation process that I started on how to expand my business and have more people know that I'm present. Mm-hmm. And Dan calls out of the blue. He could have called another 4,000 other property managers. Why he picked me? It's part of the process.
It was fate, man.
Yeah.
It's like one of those times.
Good pick.
It was, man.
Rick, you're great. Man, I couldn't imagine the show without you, dude.
So I want to bring this part up. So I'm not going to go into too much depth because I do want to talk to you a little bit about this book you're trying to complete. But, Rick is a guy that kind of took me in, part of his family almost, brings me out, takes me out to dinner. You don't meet people like that. Gives me like cards and stuff and presents. So
back rubs.
I mean, shaving
that was
back.
a good night. That was a good night.
Absolutely.
Thank God it's not my
and
turn.
so look, I'm just going to say,
bro love.
One of the things you look at for this last year, Rick Raines is and Bret, I can, bring you in on this group too, but Rick Raines is a guy that I'm very happy to meet this year. And it's definitely been a positive experience going into 2022.
Well, that's both ways, believe me.
Yeah.
Same over here, man.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, it's a good chemistry, dude.
So let's talk a little bit about your book. So you want to complete this? Is there first off, what is that process going to be like? Like, is this something you have to like delegate a certain amount of time to every week, every day?
What you actually have to do is to not necessarily time, but you have to delegate number of words. So how much you're going to write each day.
You have to have discipline with it.
Yeah.
Treat it like you
500 words, 1,000 words.
Okay.
Every day, and you got to pump that out.
So let me ask you this: as far as writing, were there some days where you're just like, Jesus, this is just flowing and it's going boom, 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 and then other days it's like pulling words out of it?
It's like anything else. Some days it goes smooth. Your juices are flowing.
Sure. So then you go back and edit it?
Other days you just, it's like a headache. It's like you're pulling teeth.
But you do it anyways.
But you do as much as you can. I mean,
Gotcha.
you go for the goal, right?
Yeah.
So Rick's always a guy that's like, too, and I want to kind of bring this up.
Hold on, quick.
Go ahead.
How long have you been writing it?
Well, I wrote it once already, and that was called, I already forgot the name of it. Doesn't matter. But I already wrote it once in a very small format about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And so now I'm rewriting it and expanding it to make it more from a very short 70-page book into several hundred pages.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's what I'm
Okay.
doing.
So,
Cool,
like,
man.
Look, everybody's at a different stage in life, right? And so you look at it and you go, well, for me, I might say, well, I'm still trying to tackle the world. I feel like that. And I'm not saying that Rick's not, but Rick's pretty much established himself as being predominant here with property management. He's also had a lot of experience at different things, and he's got grandkids, but he comes in with that energy.
That's the thing about Rick.
Yeah, man.
Rick has more curiosity about life than most 20-year-olds. Than most 25. I'm serious. And that's what's awesome about you, man. You're what, 67?
Yeah.
And you have a lust for life and a curiosity for life, man.
It's
and
funny.
and that
That's
keeps
awesome.
you alive.
It's funny that you should say that, because I was talking to a guy in my office just this afternoon, and I was giving him sort of a life story, and he was like, oh my God, I never thought of it that way. And I was like, that's the way it works. And he's in his mid-20s.
Yeah. Dude, listen, I talk to people about Bitcoin and NFTs all the time, and you get it 10 times more than they do. And they're like 30. Like, you get it, you know? Like, it's because you have an open mind about it. And you understand the overall concept, you know? But just to say, man, it's a compliment to you, man.
Thank you.
So let's talk about what, other than that, with your book, is there anything else that you're trying to do this year besides that? Like, are you trying to accomplish anything with outside of that, anything with life, really? Is there anything you're looking at?
Nothing that the wife will allow me to say.
Let's call her.
That's how you stay married.
Yes.
Right?
Love you, hon.
So let's talk about Bret. Bret, you got anything that you're looking to accomplish in 2022?
I really want to pursue advertising my services as far as people if they want to buy or sell homes with Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Wow. That's something that I have the whole game plan down. I even have a few advertising pieces drawn up.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just need to have the action of physically making it happen and get it out there. And I don't really have a game plan of what's going to happen from that. We're going to see. It's really an uncharted territory, but I just want to be the first to do it and just get it out there and see where it takes me. But I mean, I can facilitate it, so I might as well do it.
Do you put like a business plan together? Are you somebody that's like, hey, you know what, I'm going to see?
Absolutely, put a business plan about how to do it and how I want to go about it. Absolutely. So why not? You know, I mean, that's it. Real estate to me overall is boring and been boring for a while.
Why is that though, Bret?
Because it's monotonous. It's there's not one scenario that you can give me that I can't. I already know 10 steps ahead of what's going to happen and how it's going to happen with the people involved and the situation. It's just, I've done it so many times, which, don't get me wrong, I mean, I still love what I do for a living. But what really excites me and really makes me want to push things and wake up in the morning is thinking about cryptocurrency and having things on blockchain and NFTs. And that's a whole nother concept I have with NFT space. And having properties be that and having one virtual map with all these NFTs in there. And then that's a whole other concept. But
well, I think you've been doing it a while, right? Real estate.
Yeah,
I think
16 years.
It gets redundant. You know,
dude, you do anything 7 days a week for 16 years, you're by default.
Yeah. But I mean, look, it still pays the bills. And like, so what are your goals? Like, what do you want to accomplish? Like, obviously for next year for real estate.
I don't have, like, that's what I'm saying is I don't have a number of like, oh, I need to make 100 transactions or 50 transactions of Bitcoin and I need to bring in 400 grand and commit. I don't have that. I just want to move forward. I want to start with number one. My goal is to do one transaction with Bitcoin with that. Yeah. That's my goal overall.
Yeah.
Once that happens, then I think
Lights
more
out.
things will start happening.
Yeah.
But so I don't have a set number other than I want to take the action of start doing it. Even if I'm advertising for a year and I'm getting a year of no's, I don't care.
Right.
I just know that I'm following what I love, you know? So man,
look,
it's hot here.
I know. Bret, you feeling it?
Dude.
I think it's what you've been drinking, man. Is that a little bit hot for you? So other than that, let's talk to Corinne. Corinne, what are you trying to accomplish next year? I mean, we talk about business plans. Everybody wants to be better than they were the year before. And is there something specific that you want to accomplish?
Well, I can mirror Bret's goals, things about real estate. It is what it is. We work our ass off. I'll get this, and I don't put numbers up there. Our team bosses always want us to do that. But for me this year, you know, I've lost 30 pounds the past year and a half.
Good for you.
Oh, wow.
And it's maintenance, you know, it's just keeping it off and keeping healthy. Not just keeping it off, but keeping healthy. That's really important to me because I think, you know, if you don't feel good, you don't look good. If you,
I've known Corinne for 10 years. I've known Corinne for 10 years and not just first of all, you were never fat.
Yes, I was.
No, you weren't.
Well, by my.
So listen,
but what I'm saying is this, which is just with that and everything from a career to your everything, I've seen Corinne come 180 degrees full circle.
Right.
In 10 years, you know?
You know what? And not doing it for any compliments or just you know, it's the feeling that you have that you've accomplished something.
Yeah.
Whatever weight, whatever stage of fitness that you are in.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Dude, losing weight and getting in shape is the easiest thing and the hardest thing.
It is. It's
an easy concept, but it's hard.
I had bread this weekend. My daughter made monkey bread and that's, oh my God, it was so freaking
Monkey bread, tell us what is that?
Monkey bread.
Dude, you don't know what monkey bread is?
You don't know what monkey bread is?
No,
monkey see, monkey do.
Shoot.
Do monkeys make it or what is it?
I don't know why they call it monkey bread, but it's like.
Dude, it's good.
Oh my God, I haven't had bread in almost 2 years.
It's monkey good.
I almost ate the whole thing. It was so good. But, this morning I was like working out and I'm like, oh man.
But you have to throw that in there, man.
You have to, feel what you're working with. It's like, I didn't, because I feel like, oh God, tomorrow morning I'm going to blow up in 10 pounds. And I didn't. Yeah. The core that you work with.
But see, once you make that lifestyle switch.
It was a lifestyle.
It's almost harder for you not to work out than it is to work out. You know what I mean?
And honestly, yes, exactly. It's discipline over inspiration.
That's exactly what it is.
I feel weird if I don't work out in the morning.
Yep.
And my goal, really, one of my personal goals, I've got my business like Bret.
Yeah.
That's all good. That's on autopilot. I work my ass off. Of course, it's going to happen. But it's like I'm getting this group together. I got this group of strong ass women, and it's not just for women, but we're getting a group together called Solo in Sin City.
Yeah.
And the goal is, I'm happy being solo. There's solo and solitude have the same first three letters. So
there you go.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I want to travel solo, do some places solo. If we can travel again, whenever. So
the world's an oyster.
Yeah,
right?
And women in my age group, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, gentlemen. I'm like, we are a powerhouse, economic, social.
But that happens because each and every one of you took charge of your life.
We are.
You said, dude, let's own. I mean, good for all of you.
We got rid of deadbeats and
birds of a feather flock together, right?
Yeah.
So I look at it as like a reset for everything, right? You say, okay, everybody's knows their flaws. Everybody knows their skeletons in the closet type thing. And you look at it and you go, how can I get better? Right? What do I do to get better? And I think you look at the situation and you go, well, I could have done this differently. Maybe that phone call or maybe that conversation could have went differently. And so I think it's personal growth for me, right? It's personal growth in saying, look, where do I really falter with people? Like, where do I have a problem? And I wouldn't say I have a problem, but I could have done something maybe different. So I'm constantly looking at things of how to be a better person in life.
Well, that's because you're a good human and you should.
Be a better person for my family, right? That's where it starts, right?
Yeah.
And then you look at it and you go, okay, if you got all that together and you got all that accomplishment in place, then, okay, now what do you do about business? Now, I want to have multiple streams of income. Mm-hmm. So investment properties, I want to buy 2 investment properties. That's my goal this year, right? I want to do that. I also want to maybe start a side business potentially, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of things.
Side hustle.
Yeah, side hustle. Yeah. So look, real estate, financing, you got investment properties. I wouldn't say crypto yet is something that you can say, if you're buying now, that you can say, well, you can rely on that, correct? Would you say that?
Well, it's how you want to do it. Okay, so there's people I know that have like $500,000 on Celsius, which is basically like kind of like a crypto exchange, but it's they loan them money and off interest for your crypto. I mean, you can get like 6-7% a year. So if you're doing like $500,000, you're not trading, you're not doing anything, and you're collecting like 7% interest a year.
So are you saying
that is generating? That's generating 7% income off of your asset per year.
Yeah, I'm talking about like that. That's exactly what I'm talking. I think for me, I'm going to start looking at it going, well, let me invest. People always say, well, how do you do it? I think a lot of people try to put all their chips in and go all in when they buy something like crypto or any investment. And,
you should never.
And then really what I want to try to accomplish this year is slowly taking out of every paycheck, put a little bit towards like we talked about.
And that's exactly how you should go about it, man. Yeah. You shouldn't try to hit a home run in every single one because you're going to end up hitting nothing.
Yeah.
And
I think it comes down to the last thing is I have an agenda to work out, right? And this first time I put together like a real workout plan. Like I always like, I'm going to work out. I really gotta get into it where
let's take them. Work out with us, Rick.
6 weeks.
Bro, you spend 6 weeks with Rick and I in the gym, he'll come back Superman.
Well, look,
dude, your girl will be like, damn.
So all of that encompasses me trying to become, and I think everybody wants to say, look, everybody gets tired at the end of the year. They're just like, man, I'm done. Like I want to take a break. But it's like a reset, and I think that there's things that you can accomplish and look at self-evaluation. Also, too, I want to look at how do I help people more and relate to people more in their situations next year. Because look, all of us are in this business, and what do? We're really at an arm's length. We don't really talk to them on the phone. I mean, maybe that's all we talk to them. We don't see them in person. And so you only have a very short window to get to know people, and I think it's really important to know people. Like, look, in 1 year, how many people did we have on this show that we didn't know? I mean, we extended invitations to everybody. And we have so many new relationships, and I think that's what it's about, right?
I think it was every week.
Agree.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Bret, you've met like how many people from the show?
I have some
outside of
good
the show?
seeds planted, awesome networking things from it. So I've yet to see what's going to happen out of those. But yeah, 100%. It's great networking for that alone.
So, yeah, I mean, I put my business plan together, and I want to meet new people. On Tuesdays and Saturdays, we're going to try to bring out good people that people can relate to that are going through issues and serious things. You know, we always pride ourselves on this show about being, it's the most real and behind the scenes regarding financing real estate. How about just in life too, right? I mean, we want to be able to relate to the average person out there that says, you know what? How does this pertain to me? You know, there's that, you know, top 20% of people out there that are making a lot of money. We're all striving to be that person. We are. But at the end of the day, we all have to understand like, hey, there's a vehicle to get there. And we have to be able to relate to people and explain things. And hopefully by having this podcast and having this show that we do, it opens the horizons for people to get little nuggets, little information here and there that they can use for future things in life. You know, would you agree?
I agree.
You
100%.
concur.
No, Bret concurs.
Bret concurs.
Concur. I mean, I had a really good buddy from college that I used to play in bands with back in the day. And
wait, you were in a band?
What instrument?
What was the name?
What was the name, man? What were
I was in a couple of them. I was in a punk rock band in high school called the Nobodies.
Let's get
Is that the perfect punk rock name for a band? The Nobodies. We're Nobodies, man. We're like 16 small town country. We got a lot to rock against, you know?
Dude, it was a different world back then.
It was a different
too,
world.
that,
And then one that we made a couple albums with and did a little touring with was called the Lotus Band, and another one called She Might Have a Gun. And it was that was fueled with a lot of excess of things that
that you didn't want to.
it was crazy. God. Yeah.
So let's all guess what instrument did you actually play, Bret?
What do you guys think?
I think you were the lead vocal with that voice.
No.
Come on.
No, I'm going to go
I'm
with
a horrible
bass.
singer. Drums.
Drums?
And I did some like spoken word poetry in some of the songs and stuff. I did a lot of writing back.
Oh my God.
So that was
back in the pre-real estate days.
So look, we all kind of put out there what our agendas are. Let's talk a little bit about what we've seen in 2021 in the housing market, just some things that really stand out to you. And then heading into 2022, is this going to stay consistent, right? So we'll start with you, Rick. Do you have anything that stands out this year that you think is going to go into next year?
Oh, it's going to go into the next year. I think we're still going to appreciate, but only at about 5%. As far as overcoming 2021, for me, it's the moratoriums that have ended.
Yeah,
that was a real pain in the ass.
That's a big relief off you, right? With those moratoriums, and especially for landlords, right?
Because for the owners is where the relief is, but it's still difficult for us to deal with.
Yeah,
and deal with all the federal regulations and whatnot. It's not fun for anyone.
Yeah,
Dan, your belt's slipping off.
I know, man.
You're losing your championship title.
Hold on. Let me post this up.
You got to wing it. There you go. You got to throw it over his shoulder like you own that son of a bitch.
There you go. JD Power right here.
JD Power.
#1 podcast in Las Vegas. Yeah, let's go for it.
Nice, man.
Right.
That's like He-Man.
Yeah,
your sword.
Hey, you know, like Aaron Rodgers, how he does the whole thing.
Yeah.
Every time I saw it, I was like, I got to do this, man. I got to bring this on. You know what I mean? So somebody write this up.
What was that? Your check rate or what do they call you?
Yeah, it's like this. So it's like,
check,
you walk outside, you know, you go and you just.
I'm
gonna wear this. I'm gonna wear this to all the real estate offices, man.
Dude, just think about that for a second, though, dude. You wonder why pro athletes are cocky as shit? Dude, can you imagine like 90,000 people and you go, score, and they're like, yeah. Oh, dude, that's gotta make you.
CC's got a good question here. Is there anything new in the rental market? And we're going to talk a little bit about it. But I mean, you know, looking at 2021, let's go back to that topic, going into 2022, right? Mm-hmm. What do you see with rents? Is that going to still be stagnant? Because I feel right now we're stagnant in the rental sector.
We're stagnant, but only because it's December. Come the end of January, it's going to pick up again.
Yeah.
It always does.
Yeah.
It always does.
And so look at the situation with this year, and you look at, we had the moratorium. We also had rents increase. Were they all-time highs this year for rents?
Yes.
Okay. Is that going to continue into next year, or is it going to stagnate for next year?
It's not going to stagnate. It's going to go up slowly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, 5%.
5% for rents.
Yeah, because it follows the sales.
Follows the sales. Okay. Mm-hmm. Bret, What do you think, man? You think anything different as far as 2021?
I'm about the same with the numbers. I would say 4 to 6% for residential. That's about where I'm at for the number. I think we should actually do a poll right now and next year at this time see who's the closest to that. But 4 to 6%. And I think we're going to still have a lack of inventory, but it's not, and we're going to be dealing with that for at least the next year.
So is that the big thing for you? Is just the inventory? Like that's the only thing that you could think of?
That's the answer to all the problems right now is more inventory, and I don't see that freeing up to a point where it frees anything up really or changes anything.
Yeah,
that's the issue that we're facing well into the future, and I don't see ending anytime soon.
Well, I think inventory is going to be a problem, but I think it's part of it, and I also think that interest rates are going to be an impact. Also, the economy and how that flows. Income is going to be a problem. Like, is the average median wage earner going to be able to afford a house as these prices increase? Not just from here, but maybe in other states.
So my whole thing to that is that makes total sense. But even if there's less people because of those factors that can buy, the amount of homes on the market are even a quarter of that.
So
until that's resolved, we're not doing Shiola.
Okay, so we saw about a month and a half ago. We keep track on this, guys. So everybody out there, folks, we look at this data every single week, almost every day, and we saw 4,500 homes roughly a month and a half ago. And today, single-family residents, it's 2,900 homes right now on the market. Well, this is single-family residents that I looked at. Now, it's not including some of the properties. It's just specifically single-family.
Down another 7?
Yeah, so we're down.
Dude, so we're down another 7.5%.
Rick, you got
for
some
inventory
data?
than last week.
Go ahead.
Well, for the last quarter, we're down 32% in available properties for purchase.
For the last quarter? Down 32% in the inventory.
And we're up 38% in available rentals to rent.
Right.
For the quarter.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about is this thing. I understand it's the timing of the market, but it's quickly, I don't know.
So you have nobody that can buy a home because there's no homes on there. They're all going to go to renting then. So now you're going to have an influx of all these renters, which is going to take care of that self right there.
Running at Altitude here's got a good point. He said, we have seen the fastest year-over-year increase in single-family rents growth in over 16 years. And
100%.
Rick, you can attest that. So look, at the end of the day, it's like this. We all know that inventory is going to be a problem. We also know, wage earning is going to be a problem. Other than that, like what did you see big from 2021 besides that? Is there anything else that stands out to you that you want to bring up?
I just never thought we'd see as few inventory as we have. And then you have the supply chain with the builders and it's just like everything just came to a trickle. Inflation. And like we were talking before the show started, who would have thought that in the spring of 2020 we were coming into the greatest seller's market we've ever had? Absolutely. Who would have thought that? I mean, it's insane if you think about the setup in March 2020.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is at the end of the day, we can talk about this and that and bring in numbers, but there's always factors like that can happen in life that can come into play that we don't know. We think it's heading this direction, that direction, but I would have never anticipated that. Would you have?
Not at all.
I mean, in the spring of 2020, with what was happening, to sit there and say we're about ready to start the seller's market that appreciates almost 30%, I would say,
and crazy
take
buyers.
this crack pipe and smoke it.
Right.
I mean, seriously.
Corinne, what about you? What do you think is going to happen? Like, what did you see stand out to you in 2021 as far as the real estate market here in Las Vegas? Like, what do you think is some of the big things that hasn't been discussed yet?
Well, 2021, like in spring, there's always like a buyer's rush in the spring, right? Buyers crazy. But I did 6.5 years of real estate only. Never seen it as crazy as buyers offering 30,000, 40, 50,000 above appraisal. I mean,
and you were a buyer. You were a buyer in the foreclosure short sale days, and even though it was competitive as a buyer, you didn't have to deal with.
No, I didn't have to deal with
like
that.
This.
No, it was whoever got cash on the table first.
Yep.
But appraisals of 20, 30 out of pocket, and buyers were willing to do it. So I see that some similar in 2022, but not as much. And it's really funky to look at you, Dan, with the eyeglasses. But anyway,
She's trying to take you seriously.
I'm concentrating.
I'm trying to be professional here.
I
I'm
am,
looking at
I
this
am.
freak. You know?
Rick over here. But anyway, yes, I think it's gonna be just as crazy. I mean, 20,000 new cases in California of COVID. They're still heading over there. They're still heading for the hills, Nevada hills.
They call them the Coke bottle eyeglasses, right? Or
Yeah.
Coke can eyeglasses. Coke bottle.
Coke
bottle.
Yeah. My sister had it in her nerd days. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Funny.
That's so funny.
So,
No,
yeah, no,
I
I still
agree.
see the
I mean,
same.
I
I still
agree.
see
And
the same.
I mean, look, I feel it's going to be the great expansion still, where we're going to still, people are still going to buy houses. We're going to still expand, but yet people think rates are going to continue to go up. I don't feel that they're going to continue to go up.
Well,
I think there's gonna be a
if that's what I'm saying is even if they do, the amount of
won't.
homes on the market
Yeah.
is so few that that's not going to matter.
right.
Oh, I should say if it went up to like 17% overnight, yes.
No, I
But
think that
dude,
the
that's not going to.
exodus
It's an
from
election
all
year
the
next
other-
year. It won't.
All the other
Exactly.
states.
Yes.
That's going to be the biggest impact.
Well,
there.
is it going to keep
The exodus.
impacting because of COVID? I mean, we saw all these people, great exodus, as you said, coming from, look at 43% come from California.
Yeah.
We all know that there's a big, huge transition coming from there. That's not going to go away. I think is there alternate states that people are transitioning from to come to Las Vegas? Is that going to, because I don't think California is even going to slow down a bit.
No,
not at all.
They're
down.
not,
And-
man.
And the other 50% are coming from all of the other states. Mm-hmm. And that's 93%. And the other 7 is people that are just buying from here.
So
the other 30% are like New York.
Yeah.
some of the things to consider. Let's talk about some of the things that I want to talk about from 2021. We saw, I feel like this is an unhealthy market, right? And why is that? Because home affordability is not there. You look at the average house right now, our cost of living is going up. The average house is $420,000 right here in Las Vegas. And so is that going to continue to increase? And I think that's going to be a real problem, like you said, with the wages. But it's not going to stop people from still buying. And I feel that prices are going to continue to go up. So I feel that this market, even in the last few years, has been very unhealthy. Everybody thinks this is a great market. It's not, because you don't have, buyers are going to be priced out. You're going to see those families more and more going into 2020, 2022, not going to be able to have opportunity to buy a house.
The problem with the underlying factor with all those things is inventory. You don't have any of those other problems without the lack of inventory.
Well, what would increase inventory?
More homes on the market.
I would say
I'm a
interest
genius.
rates. So here's the problem. Here's what's going on. It's a perfect storm for builders because builders have short inventory here in Las Vegas. Now, they're saying also too, rates are still low, right? They're not.
Well, that's
high
the
enough.
thing too.
So
Historically low.
We're going to have to see if rates go up because that's going to impact what the inventory will be. And you're right. I think the inventory will be the safe haven, if you want to call it, for people to go out.
How's that going to make it more inventory?
Because people are going to retract. Even though, listen, so look at across the country, rates go up. People are going to start to pull back or retract.
Sure.
Because the cost of their house, of their payment is going to go up.
Sure.
And so now, if you have other things going up, inflation's already high. I think we peaked in 2021 for inflation and economic data. And I think 2022, we're going to start to see that decline. But it's going to be interesting to see if rates go up. Now, I don't feel that they are going to go
Well,
up.
Norton.
Wait. You're not saying that there's going to be more inventory. What
No.
you're saying is
Okay.
that there's going to be more competition.
Correct. It's going to be the
It's gonna be
same
less-
market.
Less competition because of inflation, higher interest rates, and there's going to be less competition.
That I agree with. Like we kind of talked about before, is the days of a regular home in the market that wasn't the best, that was selling full price and 30, 40 grand over. Those days are over.
You know, a lot of people look at the
know.
10-year yield to kind of determine what rates are going to do and also kind of economically what we're doing. And I think that's a good starting barometer, you know. But overall, I think the economic data that I've been looking at is stating that, or showing that going into 2022, what I see is going to happen is we're going to continue to see prices increase. We already talked about that. I don't know about the rate, though. And this is where my assumption comes in. Look, if the Fed comes in and they need to raise rates to slow the economy, okay, that'll have a big impact on what's going to happen with our overall.
I agree with you on that. I don't
So-
think they're going to do that much with the rates.
I don't either, but it's interesting to see what they're going to do because a lot of the data, too, that they're looking at is we have high inflation. Now, we're coming down. We peaked, right? We peaked. 2021, we peaked on inflation. So I don't know. Do you guys feel that it's going to just be the same old market, but more competition? People writing offers, wrote an offer, condos, right? 20,000 above and still got beat
so
out.
as of right now, I see things staying the same continuing forward, but I'm always open to saying that things could change. Something unexpected comes in or has an effect on people that I didn't quite see would have an effect on. Other than that, full speed ahead of what we're doing.
I think that
what it is, I should say, for the market.
I think that the rise in interest rates are going to adversely affect the people that live in larger metropolitan areas, such as California, New York, wherever. And what will happen is that in those markets, because of that, the prices will drop, and those people will exit and still buy here because it's a great deal. And our competition will still stay there, and our prices will still rise as compared to these large metropolitan
because they want to come here. They're leaving there to come here.
So
that's something that's not changing.
They can't get rid of their expensive. They're going to drop when interest rates go up. They're going to sell and still buy here because it's a better deal.
Yep. Is this still a market? I mean, we all looked at this, Corinne. Maybe you can talk about this, but investors have come into this market, even though we have highest appreciation in homes ever, right? Still buying into this market.
If you look at the big picture,
Corinne,
it makes sense though.
What do you think, Corinne? You think the investors are still going to keep going?
They are. I get text messages at least a couple times a week. Hey, we're looking for any flip properties, anything we can buy, anything. Send us something.
You and me both.
Yeah, we get them. and in California too. I mean, not as much. I'm licensed.
You better
in
not get to it before me, Corinne.
I know it, and I'm just like, well, I'll look. So yeah, I'll keep an eye out for you. I actually might have something, but yeah, they're still looking. I mean, I think Rick, we're 40% rental market here, right? 40% of our homeowners or homesteaders or population are still 40% tenants, renters. So that's huge. That's huge.
That's a big number.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing the thing that you can't get around right now is that the home prices have escalated so much that, as to reiterate what I've said multiple times in the past, which is if you bought a home in the last 2 or 3, 4 or 5 years, why would you sell? You can't afford to live where you live or another home for your same payment. So you're not. So,
but I have clients just like, because they have enough equity that they'll say, Corinne, we can afford a bigger home, because we can put down, and they're looking at like, if we put down this enough equity that we're getting from our house, we're gonna get about this. We can make the same payment.
Yeah, but now you're giving up all that equity for the same payment.
Yeah, that's true. But you're getting a bigger house, and that's where you want to put your 3 kids and make your wife happy. It's all about making your wife happy, Brett.
Hey, don't piss off Corinne.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. If it's a scenario like that, and believe me, I fully encourage those scenarios because I make a living with those scenarios.
So do I.
So
yes,
don't get me wrong. But I'm saying, barring that scenario.
You're right. But then I know I'm going to get equity again in a couple of years, right, Rick? You just said
of course,
10%.
So if you have a reason because we need to be in a different school district or we need a bigger house or whatever it is, then absolutely.
That's based on a higher price. You're actually getting more.
So let's talk a little bit about that. The reason you're bringing this up with the bigger metropolitan areas is because when you look at these bigger cities or states, they have a higher cost of living, right? So they're looking and trying to downsize or downgrade to a lower cost. Yeah, go ahead, Brett. but I mean, it's true, right? I mean, you look at the situation, and I just feel that going into next year, we're going to still have the same issues and the same problems. Now, as far as rates, I want to bring up a situation about what we have here with running altitude. He has a good question. It says, Dan, the hint of rising interest rates, are you seeing more people refinance or doing HELOCs? Absolutely. And it's fear, right? Why does the market move, right? Scarcity, right? And it's also fear of missing out, not just on homes, but on rates. Because if you don't get that house that you want or the rate that you're looking for, and let's say that you're accustomed to seeing rates at the high 2s, mid to high 2s, you're jumping on the ship to say, hey, I need to get on this and I need to get my cash out. A lot of people are doing cash out refis right now. I mean, they want that equity. And they didn't do anything for it other than just buy at the right time. Right. That's all it is.
That's great. Let's drink. You guys
want to do a shot?
Let's do a shot.
Okay.
Rick, you
hold
can
on.
do water or air.
Let's see if we can do this.
This is Japanese whiskey, so what do we say?
Okay, so
let me see if I can do this. Okay.
All right.
All right, everybody put it to the middle.
Salute.
Come
Salute,
by. Oh.
salute,
Come
salute,
by.
salute.
Come by.
Everybody, thank you so much. Happy New Year to
Happy New
everybody.
Year.
Happy
right?
New Year.
Yeah,
Dan?
Hold on. My belt was.
Get your
falling.
belt ready.
I am.
Heavyweight. Ready?
Yeah.
2022.
Ready
There you go.
and go.
I already went.
Done. Woo!
So, I want to say this.
You
though.
didn't even drink it all.
I gotta host a show. I'm gonna pass out over here, man. I'm
I gotta drive home.
You already gave him 6.
I didn't say that. Never mind. I'm
Woo,
getting
that
angry.
was some warm stuff going down too. So look, let's talk about it though. You look at inventory. You look at the things that we're talking about going into 2022. Pretty much the same market we talk about all the time. Is there anything else that you guys want to bring up about the market that you see maybe happening in 2022 that didn't happen in 2021? Is there anything else? Nothing?
I mean, I don't foresee anything that's not happening right now or that we can predict's happening right now. Like I said, barring a few surprises of something that's major.
So in 2019, if you would have asked this question, who would have said COVID? Nobody.
Well, that's the
That's
thing.
what
Nobody.
that's exactly what I
And
said.
that's a good
Barring
point.
something like that.
Yeah, you
Right.
don't know.
You know,
Look, I feel like it's like this. You got the economy out there. It's kind of like being on a boat, and you're just kind of slowly letting the drift take you. And this year when we had COVID and all these things happened, and then including last year, it took immediate turn.
I mean-
Usually it's a gradual turn, like
Yeah.
the economy just kind of floats to whatever's going on. But it went from like a complete 180 or 360, if you want to call it, in another direction. And it's something that's unforeseen. But this seems like these last few years, including beginning of the 2000s, heading into these years, it's been a very unpredictable. We're not economists here, but we
No.
just kind of give you the data, what's going on. But it's been a very unpredictable scenario. It's like everything's laid out. This is what's going to happen.
And that's the
but
thing.
then at the end of the year, it's not nothing like we thought it would be.
and it's going on for a couple years now, and who knows how much longer or what's going to be the long-term effects of it and all that stuff. So, who knows? I mean, like I said, in March of 2020, I was advising my sellers, sell now because I don't know what's going to happen. I would strongly advise against that now.
A year ago,
But at the time,
It depends on their goals.
well, I mean, they were selling some of their investment properties.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
was,
yeah,
because
yeah.
I didn't know. I mean, I would have never, obviously, if I would have known this was going to happen, I would advise against it. But I was like, sell, man, because I don't know what's going to happen. That's what I'm saying. Something major could come in, and you could take Economy 101 and throw it out the window.
So-
I mean, a year
know?
ago, I never would have, in my wildest dreams, thought I would be sitting here wearing a Stark.
You see what I'm saying?
Or a women's Santa suit skirt.
Yeah,
Right?
Loved it.
you just
Hey,
never know.
that was the hit of that show.
Dude, that was-
I just put it on a
That's the
template.
pinnacle of the show, man.
Everybody hit that up.
You wait till we do that full house
Everybody
skit for
wanted
the intro.
that, right? So, okay, let's kind of end this segment here, guys. We all kind of wrap this up. Let's kind of go on to the next topic here. You guys have any last thoughts on anything? Because we have to head into the property management. I know we talked about rents a little bit and what's happening with that. Now, Rick, what else do you have to say with? You got any stories or any updates?
Well, one of the things I wanted to say that is piggybacking off what Bret said was he's been doing this for 16 years, and it's same old. He knows what's going to happen. I've been doing it since 78, and I can tell you this, in property management, there is always something new.
Absolutely.
And that is why you need a property manager who has been traversing these waters and has a lot of experience. We are constantly running into things that are new. So I just wanted to put that out there.
You have 10 times more moving parts
Oh, we have
throughout the whole year.
We have
I have
moving
moving
parts.
parts, but it's just at the transaction. Once that's done, nothing.
It's moving all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
And how many rentals do you have? Do you manage?
About 600.
So imagine all those moving parts at any given time. As you speak, someone's messing something up, Rick.
Well, basically, you're looking at 600 owners, and if you talk husband and wife and other adults, you're probably looking at 3,000 tenants.
Man.
Or 1,800 tenants, and that's constantly changing.
Rick, you're a better man than me.
Right?
You are.
So let's talk about changes. Everybody talks about like laws that are going to change, regulations that happen. We know that county limits for here in Las Vegas are going to go up for FHA, conventional VA loans. We all know that. Is there anything that's really changing going into next year that is a highlight in the property management world?
Well, you really don't want me to go there because I don't. I mentioned this with Bret, I think, on our first broadcast. the powers that be in Las Vegas do not give a rat's ass about what happens in property management, and they allow the laws to become more tenant-friendly, more liberal.
You knew that was going to happen, man.
It really impacts all of the owners and anyone who's an investor. And the tenants already know what the rules are and what they have to live up to and what the agreement is and why it has to change and become more for them as opposed to more for the investors. It really bothers me. So you really don't want to go there.
Well,
It's
let's not
only
go
gonna
there.
get worse,
But
Rick,
let me
you know
say,
that.
let me
I
say
know
this
that.
too.
It's-
Like, so let's kind of let everybody in on what it is. Like, Rick represents both sides, but the landlords really dictate a lot of what Rick does, and he has to do a lot of what they want you to do, pretty much, right?
We represent the owner, but we have to be fair to all parties.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so, look, at your situation, there's a yin and I wouldn't say yin and yang, but there's a pro and a con, or a negative to a positive. And, in the situation with COVID, I mean, you're representing people that were struggling, right, to try to probably pay their bills if they had a mortgage or stuff like that, if they're a landlord, right?
Most of the tenants believe that landlords are rich. And
Yeah.
it's just the opposite.
Yeah.
Yep,
They
I
are
agree.
struggling like everybody else.
Yep.
And when they're not getting their rent payments, they're not making their mortgage payment. It's that simple.
Yeah. Anything else in the primary? Because look, I think you look at the situation with going into next year, I think you're going to have the same issues, but you won't have the eviction moratorium over your head that you have to follow these rules. Now it's like, hey, you're not doing what you need to do for the most part, right? You can go and take them to court or get them out of that house, right?
For the most part, but there's still the eviction moratorium from the standpoint that if they have applied for help, whether it's federal or state, you still can't touch them. So that's still in place. It still makes it difficult, but it's a very small percentage.
What, you got a story for us? I mean, you're a great storyteller. I mean, you write books. You were on Channel 13 News.
What did you have right there,
Hold on.
Rick? You're going to offer some
13
more money
News,
to us.
Channel 13 News. He writes books, and he's a storyteller,
Dude, he's like
And he's
Ronald
a
Reagan, the great communicator.
and he's a stork. So I mean,
I'm a stork.
so tell us a story, Rick.
God.
What is he, a clown?
Hey,
Is he entertain you? Is that what he's here for?
No, Rick's a jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades,
I
Rick.
think that this is a story that is not unique to us. It's the same story in every property management company. Is the people that went $25,000 without paying and then walked and left the place a disaster to where the owner had to put in another $20,000.
When was this?
It happens all the time with this COVID.
Man.
I have a story about something that was crazy. So there was somebody renting out a house property manager, and they actually, the person that was renting the house, they got evicted, and they were so upset. They went into the restroom, did the deed, and left.
Oh,
that's nothing.
dude, listen.
You can't tell me. Listen, I'm just saying that's gotta be like you
Dude,
can't leave
listen.
feces behind,
Bro, that isn't. Do you want to know? Let me tell you stories from the foreclosure world crisis at ground zero here from 09 to 11. Let me tell you something. The first 2 years that I lived in this town and sold real estate, I showed homes 7 days a week. For the first 2 years, you know how many homes I sold where somebody lived in? 0. Every home that I showed for the first 2 years at 7 days a week in an international market was vacant because it was foreclosed on. Dude, I can tell you some of these you would walk into, and let me give you an example. This one guy, the house was at the time maybe 2 or 3 years old. It was a custom built house. And even in 09, 2010, when the market had already tanked, even at that point in 2010, it was still like a $500,000 home. It was custom made. You pull up on like a quarter acre. You're just like, damn, man. In this market, you're used to seeing ship boxes that are all beat up, and
You had squatters too, like I'm sure.
Hold on.
Right?
So you see something nice and you're like, wow, okay. So you pull up, man. I open the door to walk inside, and the whole house from head to toe on the inside is painted bright orange. I'm talking mirrors, countertops, light fixtures, carpet, Dude, this guy had to spend days painting the inside of his house bright orange, as in to the bank.
Wow.
I mean, everything. Had to be ripped out from head to toe, bright orange.
Now it's crazy because
he worked at it.
have you had situations with squatters or somebody like that?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
In fact, I told a story here 5 months ago about a lady that we were going to evict, and she had taken a sponge that was about 9 inches long, and she dipped it in black paint, and she made stars on every inch of every wall, inside every closet, everywhere.
Oh my
Everywhere
goodness.
she did this. And then when I went to advise her of the eviction, she basically picked up a 9-iron and came at me and then went for my Jeep. And basically I just said, oh, that's enough. And she stood there with the 9-iron at my Jeep, and I just drove off.
Yep.
But stuff like that happens all the time. That's why you need a property manager.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Holy moly.
What about you, Corinne? I mean, you had any issues with properties that you've seen with renters or anything like that? Where people...
I don't know where you people are getting your clients, but I've had the nicest clients.
We got to sell back in the heydays.
I think Corinne screens a little bit better. She's like, wait a second, let me get your credit report. Let me see what. Are you late? Are you missing anything?
That's because you're not selling in a free for all like it used to be. That was a free for all, dude.
I have a funny,
I'm a
I have a
princess,
funny
man.
one for you. Dan, I got a funny one for you.
Yeah, let's do it.
I go to evict this lady, right? I'm talking to her about what's going to happen. And I said, if you don't do this and this is what's going to happen. And she goes, what do you mean? And I said, what do you mean, what do I mean?
English, do you speak it?
Wait, because she was a fortune teller on the telephone.
Shut up, dude.
I said, you need to have seen this happen.
Was it Cleo?
You're the fortune
Was it
teller.
Cleo?
Oh, my God. She got so mad. She goes, that's all bullshit. And I said, well, whether it's bullshit or not, you should have known.
That's all bullshit.
And so then when she got evicted. Now, keep in mind, she's driving a brand new Cadillac. She gets evicted. They break the toilet off so that it shoots a hole through the ceiling and floods the unit. And then as they walk out the hall, they take the hammer and make holes in the entire hallway as they're going
Dude,
out.
I had that happen with a foreclosure, but it was the listing agent. So I know it was a listing agent because it couldn't have been anyone else. So back in the foreclosure days, a lot of these listing agents would get an REO account from a bank.
Yeah.
And they would, they made millions. They would sell 300 or 400 homes in a year, and all it is they're getting assigned accounts. So it was a process of the asset manager basically fired the listing agent and relisted it with another listing agent, yanked the account from them. We were in contract, and my buyer ended up pulling out for whatever reason it was. And in between that time, it got relisted with a new agent, got back into contract. We got to go back to that house, open it up, and someone had flooded the upstairs toilet and shower and sink, and the downstairs bathroom was sand.
You know what?
They clogged it with sand,
You should-
and it
you should-
literally
you should get
caved
some
in the
type of-
whole
yeah.
whole ceiling. And the only person that had access to that in between was the listing agent.
Right.
You should get some
Dude.
type of pin. Like, obviously, you should go to, I don't know, jail, maybe, right? I mean,
Dude, it was straight up illegal what they did. But
That's what I'm saying.
it's one of those, unless you saw them, you couldn't prove it. Even though it all pointed to them, it should be illegal, dude.
All right, so let's move over. We're going to talk about cryptocurrency here in a second, but I want to bring up real estate. And Corinne, I want your take on this as well. We need to kind of figure out what's happening here in Las Vegas. So we know we're short inventory and it's the time of year. What are you dealing with clients out there when you're making offers? Like, is there some issues still with people paying over list on these homes? Or are you kind of coming in because it's a market that's slowing down, that you're just putting an offer in and it's somewhat getting accepted?
You know, it has slowed down this last quarter, so I'm not part of that craziness as much. And even in the spring, summer, I was lucky with, I was dealing with sellers at the time. But even a couple of weeks ago, I did have four offers, multiple offers on a listing. I think the whiskey's kicking in. And I had one crazy agent, even after we already rejected her offer, she still texted me, okay, what if we do this?
Dude, isn't it crazy, some of these agents in this business?
Yeah.
It's astonishing how incompetent some of these agents are. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's crazy, man.
you know what? It's like I'm not gonna do. So we've done other people's jobs for them sometimes.
Because you got to get it done. Period.
You got to get it done. But sometimes it's like, you know what? You missed that contingency period.
Yep.
You didn't ask for an extension.
No, I know.
It's not gonna benefit me or my sellers.
Well, listen, and that's a conversation that comes with the expectation up front. A lot of these offers that I'm putting in or we talk about is you're asking 5, 10 above, depending on, it's all about the relationship on the other side. You got to be, you got to
communication, really.
You got to have that open dialogue, right? And so that also, some cases, they want to know, like some people want to say, hey, you know what? Did you screen your client, right? Do you know if they got money or not? And that's a little bit, I feel that's a little bit intruding because you can't ask a realtor, does your client have money? Dude, because then they're trying to probe to get money or more money.
Oh, I do. I ask the question until I get a no.
Yeah.
No,
but listen, that's not ethical though.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Do you think it's ethical?
100%.
I will ask whatever. Actually,
you're doing what you have to get to represent your client the best of your ability.
The ethical part is what they answer or not answer with. That's the ethical. But we can ask anything.
Yes,
we're on the other side.
You guys, do you have anything else to add to this with the real estate market? No, I mean, nothing else.
Silent Bob.
You have anything else?
You know what? People who are waiting I'm going to wait till the prices are not so crazy. Tell me when. Tell me when that is.
Yeah. Don't be one of those people.
Tell me when. I'd love to.
Well, listen. Some people out there, though, they feel that realtors are biased, right? And I'm going to say this. They say, hey, you know what? Realtors want to sell a house.
Hey,
lenders want to get a realtor. But listen, that's fine. That's fine. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I'm sorry. I have told buyers. You're right. There are some realtors. But I have told buyers, it's like, you know what? If you don't have to buy right now this month, let's wait. Let's wait.
I feel like the market's softening, but you're still going to see an opening for appreciation. Let's talk with Rick. Rick.
Yep.
Rick has a game we were going to play because it's the ending year, 2021, and everybody were going in full steam into 2022. So Rick, go ahead and let's do some quick game.
Okay, we got
questions
some bank on the line here.
Oh, here we go again. Here we go.
New Year's riddles. Right. So this is, hey, Brett, put your phone down.
Hey, show me that money again real quick, Rick. I got to see, flash me that money. Woo!
What do you mean put the phone
down? That's going to make me stop everything I'm doing. Hold on. Put that phone down. He's flashing 20s, man. Already.
Okay, here we go. You got to watch out for her. This one's easy. Why do you need a jeweler in the new year?
Ring in the new year.
Oh, he got one!
Oh, wow! I didn't even have a chance. Look at this guy going out to dinner.
Where can you find comedians at a New Year's Eve party?
In the punchline.
Oh, you read them all.
Give me my 20! Give me my 20! Nobody said anything about the rules. Give me my 20.
No way.
Nobody said anything about the rules. Give me my 20.
He cheated.
No, I didn't cheat.
You can't.
I didn't cheat.
Don't listen.
Prove it.
Put that on something.
I didn't cheat.
There's no freaking way if you can't.
Dude, you're firing off in 30 seconds or less.
I got super smart.
No way.
That was my Christmas wish to Santa.
That did not happen.
Super smart. He took a picture.
That did not happen.
I did not.
Look at this guy. Listen.
Give me my 20. Hey, give me my other 20. I won't answer any. Give me my other 20. I won't answer anymore.
Look at this guy.
Oh my God.
Hey, he's off limits now. He did. Hey, and I'm going to say something. And I'm not trying to, but he was reading your notes.
I know.
Before, and he was like, "What has Rick got to say about it?" And he's like, "Oh, what's this?"
Hey, Dan. Winners always win.
Okay. Wow. Okay, it's between you two. You ready?
No more.
What do you? This is easy.
Got
what
40
do you
out
say
of it.
to your friends on New Year's Day?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. What do you say to your friends? Hello, hi, friends.
What do you say to your friends on New Year's?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anybody?
Okay, ready?
What is it?
Haven't seen you
Since last year.
Oh, this guy. Look at these.
No, I'm just saying.
You're a pro over here.
I'm a mind reader, too. I got that ability.
Yeah.
I got super smart in mind reader.
Here we go.
Thank you, Santa.
Yes.
Right.
Like, what do snowmen like to do on New Year's Eve?
Smoke tobacco.
Dude, I'm out. I spent it all.
That was close. Chill out.
Dude, chill out.
Oh, yeah, man. That's it, man.
Get it?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, one of you's got to get this one. It's the last one. In what year did Christmas Day and New Year's Day fall in the same year?
Leap year.
Every year.
What year?
It's every year, yeah.
I didn't look at anything.
I'm not going to take it. But listen, you brought that to my attention, and that is true.
Yeah.
But you can't cheat for me.
I didn't look at it.
I'm not taking his money because you gave me and I said, yeah, that is true.
For
Because
true?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you do it for true?
What?
Did you get it for true, or did you get it off a year?
No, I didn't look at it. See?
look at this guy's a con artist, man.
I am not.
Hey,
Shut up. Shut your mouth and finish the show.
Fake
Shut
it
your
till
mouth
you
and
make
finish
it.
the
That's
show.
what
We'll
it-
see you next year, people.
Fake
Thank
it
you.
till you make it. That's exactly what he's doing here.
Hey,
You guys got any final thoughts on this show?
See you next year, everybody. Thanks. Cut it. Let's
hey,
go.
we're looking to increase our property management business by 10%. Give us a call, 702-916-2200.
All right, cheater. Brett, I mean.
Want to start a house with Bitcoin? Give me a call.
Oh, yeah, Bitcoin. That's right.
BretJenny.com.
You're the
I'm not
only
gonna initial it.
licensed.
Certified,
Certified, that's right.
crypto certified agent in the state of Nevada. Also,
Dude.
Bitcoin certified professional.
Wow.
Tattoo that on your body.
Working on my
somewhere.
blockchain profession too.
Tattoo it on your neck.
I will. I think I'm gonna get right here.
That's a good marketing proposition.
My buddy Johnny, every time he calls me, he happens to be during a podcast. Do you think that's weird?
No.
He doesn't even know I do the podcast. That's what's weird.
I
but it happens to be at the same
I
time.
think it's like psychic. You know.
Anyways,
knows.
it's just an observation. So.
How about you?
How about me?
Yeah, Corinne?
Corinne, what are you doing? Filming?
What are you doing?
You like to film, don't you?
I am. I was a journalist.
I feel like I
used
got
to
it
be
on
a
everybody's
journalist.
camera today. She's at my ears.
Is
and
that the
my
new
face.
iPhone 13?
Yes, it is.
Nice.
CorinneLujan.com. Hit me up. Real estate needs.
All right, I want to answer one question here. Running at altitude said, I think sales activity will increase in 2022 due to more and more people deciding to move along with increasing levels of new home construction. I agree.
I agree. I hope so. I agree.
Final
Yes.
thoughts. Final thought for his year is that everyone will have a better year than this one. Great job, CC. We're all going to
Everybody,
have a better year.
thanks for always watching us.
Yeah.
Following all that. I mean, definitely appreciate the love and
Yeah.
tuning in. So
And I want to say this, you guys, look, we're all doing this for really because we want to help you. Yes, we want to earn your business. We would be happy to earn your business, but we want to help you also and put out the content, educate, and we're going to continue to keep putting on good quality people that are smarter than us in other fields. I mean, we all talk about real estate and financing, but I've learned so much bringing on people, and hopefully it's helping and benefiting people out there. Going into 2022, we have a full roster list of people that's coming on. Rick's done a great job of getting a roster together as far as Saturdays and Tuesdays. So, guys, thank you so much. Again, this is the most real and behind-the-scenes information regarding financing, real estate, money talk, entrepreneurs. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment if you want to. We'll see you guys next year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.